Hello, this is Nicole B, and we are here today doing our very first comic book club review. I have not personally read comics in about 2 years because of my own work schedule and demands with Webtoon. Therefore, I'm very excited to look at self-published comics and to be able to introduce them to you to see if it's something that you would also be interested in reading. There are so many comics out there. Sometimes I feel almost too many comics are out there because you'll never be able to read all of them. Such a variety available. There's something out there for everybody. It's one of the really neat things about the growing comic community. Today I'm going to be reviewing Light Within Shadow by Blue Mouse. Light Within Shadow is a fantasy action comic. I've read the first 3 episodes. I'm going to be sharing my full review of looking at those, sharing my screen. This is the very quick summary of my review. I read the first 3 chapters and then I also looked forward more onward into the story to get more of an idea of where the art and the story goes. The Nicole B summary of it is this is a story about a girl named Lysandra who lives in a small, quiet village. She is searching for answers related to her past and to who she is as a person, but then there's also danger lurking around in the forest. There is action, fantasy, world building, character development, beautiful art, beautiful action panels. Overall, it's a great read. I like to click into the more recent episodes to get a better picture. I will say this one doesn't disappoint. If you look at those later episodes, these panels are beautiful. They're very well done, dynamic shading, even the backgrounds of them, totally beautiful. That being said, I'm going to be looking at these comics from the first 3 episodes because that's often what a reader has. In those early episodes, I will say the action panels are very strong. They're so strong. Those action panels are so beautiful, so dynamic. Because of that, the dialogue, the everyday dialogue panels feel not as strong. But I think that's because you have these beautiful action panels to start, and then it's just so hard to it's very, very hard to make dialogue as interesting as action in a panel. Even for professionals, I would encourage having action panels or action backgrounds, action scenes, even behind some of the panels to keep those action readers intrigued through that dialogue. If your primary genre is action, readers are coming then to read an action comic, and they have to be carried through some of those more dialogue heavy panels or those sections of the story that feel slower. So sometimes doing more dynamic backgrounds. I will say though, when you look on further in these episodes, you totally have it. In the later episodes, the backgrounds are really beautiful. In the beginning episodes, everything, all the panels behind it were white, which it's fine. A lot of comics are that way, but I see more exploration with color and gradients behind it later on in the comic. For a reader, I would encourage you to, maybe if it feels a little slower or a little less dynamic in the beginning, to stick with it. Click on further, see where the comic's gone, because if the story's good, it'll carry you through those early stages of their art ability. This comic is great. I think, as I've said in my longer reviews, it's finding your audience, finding those action readers and getting them hooked into it. Collaborating with other action creators is something I would encourage you to do because they also have your audience. Early on, I will say when I read the first 3 episodes, I thought it was playing more towards fantasy because episodes 2 and 3 were very slow and they were more about the world and what was going on in the world, and then some relationship dynamics. However, as I've clicked through some of the later episodes, I do understand why you've made it an action comic, because it's just filled back to back with these action scenes. So I understand that. I think what it is getting that reader to understand that, especially if they only have the patience of 3 episodes. One thing you could do, this would be the easiest if you wanted to show more of that action early on, is to do some really beautiful action-based drawings, individual drawings, and put them at the end of your episodes, like a title page. Sometimes comics will do that at the beginning or the end of an episode, where they just have this beautiful picture with the title. Kind of shows the reader, okay, we got better art coming on, we got better storyline coming on. Like, we see the creator's growth over time. I don't think those early episodes, they've already been remade, they're beautiful. They don't need to be done again. They are strong. I think it can be easy for a creator when they get advice to want to go back and redo. Don't redo it. It's strong enough as it is. Now your later episodes are just phenomenal. And I think that's just comes over time. Look at these beautiful panels. Look how beautiful these are. These are just action scenes upon action scenes, which are extremely difficult to draw. These panels are really pushing the limits way more than the early panels. Like I said, a big piece of it is finding your audience. And that can be hard because Webtoon has become oversaturated. It's such an oversaturated platform. It's hard to promote yourself in, because you can't really promote yourself in the platform itself other than collaborating. Collabs are when a bunch of creators come together and they make a mural basically, and they credit each other, which is such a creative idea. Creators have made that in order to promote their work, because Webtoon Canvas makes it hard to promote yourself on the platform. You really have to promote yourself outside of it. So I would encourage you to find other action creators. I'm looking right now at some of the collabs you've done, and I'm not sure if you have a lot of collabs with action creators. You collab with who you find, so that's fine. But I think it could be helpful for you to find some action-based creators and collaborate with them in order to find your audience out there. I think also promote some of the other non-action pieces though. When you click on the comic, it says the first genre is action. Some people, that's an instant turn off, but for other people, that's the exact thing they're looking for. I think the genre is correct. I think it is action, looking at some of those later panels, but there's also a lot of romance in there and drama. There are these other aspects, so to play to those strengths as well. Overall though, this is a great comic. I would encourage readers to check it out. Like I said, Light Within Shadow by Blue Mouse. If you are interested in having your comic reviewed, look at the link below. That'll take you to my website, and it has a form on there to be filled out. If you are here for the ride, you're a comic reader, a comic creator, comic lover, please like and subscribe, because that helps me know that people are interested in this content. I am doing this solely for fun. I don't get paid to do this. This is something I'm doing just to be part of the comic community between comics. So please like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave your own insight, and check out this comic. I am going to be posting full-length reviews where I'm going through the first 3 episodes and sharing as I'm scrolling through, if that's something you're interested in. Between now and my next comic review, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you soon.